next to this, just I rub this figure, and next to this we come to the second, that is the extrastellar ring of cambium, that is found in Amaranthus. In the family Amaranthaceae, Amaranthaceae, that is the typical examples are Amaranthus, Acheranthus, etc. So, here that figure I have drawn downward is the this TS of stem shows the secondary growth of Amaranthus stem. So, next to this abnormal secondary growth, it is the anomalous type of secondary growth, which is known as extrastellar. It is known as extrastellar secondary growth, extrastellar secondary growth, because why it is called extrastellar? Because here the cambium is produced, which gives rise to secondary tissue, is formed outside the stele, that is outside the portion of stele. So, what is a stele? Just the definition of a stele is that the stele is the portion of tissue that is encircled by the pericycle. So, in the successive ring of cambium, we have seen that in the ground tissue, the outermost layer which is encircled by the pericycle forms secondary ring which cuts later on the secondary tissue. But here in this case, there is no outermost ring of the cambium that falls in the ground tissue encircled by the pericycle, but here the ring is produced by the tissue of the pericycle or by the cells of the corticals. In some cases, in some plants, it is formed by the cells of the cortical region, or it is formed here in the Amaranthus by the cells of the pericycle. So, it is so called as the extrastellar because in the definition of a stele, what we find, the definition of a stele is that the tissues which are encircled by the pericycle is generally known as the stele. Means the tissues of the stele are others, and these are encircled by another tissue. Means there is the two different tissues, one here is pericycle and second is the stele. So, in this case the ring is not formed by the cells of the stele, rather it is formed by the cells of the pericycle. So, now first of all we see the primary structure. In the primary structures, primary structure of primary structure of Amaranthus. Here there is the outermost layer, that is the epidermis, which is followed by the cells of collenchyma, collenchymatous, hypodermis. Then there is the several zones of parenchymatous cells next to this parenchymatous cortex, next to it, and the innermost layer of the cortex is known as the endodermis. And there is the cell, there is a pericycle layer inside the endodermis, a layer of pericycle is formed inside endodermis, and afterward there is the ground tissue. Next, ground tissue, and next to this several vascular bundles are scattered. Several, they are numerous, scattered in it. So these vascular bundles are conjoint and open, although a cambium ring is found here, although a cambium strip is found here, but it is either non-functional or feeble. Their function is not clear. It is a strip that does not show clearance. So it is known as the feeble, and these are also non-functional. So this is the case. So first the epidermis is found, the second is hypodermis, that is collenchymatous, next to it is parenchymatous cortex, then the endodermis, then the layer of pericycle, and then there is the mass of ground tissue in which several vascular bundles are scattered. These vascular bundles are conjoint and open, although cambium is found, but it is feeble or non-functional. So what happens? The cells of the pericycle starts to cut cells in the secondary, when the secondary growth starts. cells of pericycle becomes meristematic and starts to cut ring of cambium. A ring of cambium is newly formed just below the pericycle, and these cells of the cambium are cut by the cells of the pericycle. Then this new ring of cambium that is cut starts to cut new ring of cambium starts to cut secondary xylem and secondary phloem inward. That is the peculiarity. Normally, secondary phloem is cut outward and secondary xylem is cut inward, but here in the amaranthus, the newly formed ring of the cambium starts to cut secondary xylem and secondary phloem both inward, and in between the two vascular bundles, the secondary xylem is cut outward and secondary phloem and secondary xylem are cut, both are cut inward. So, in between the two newly cut cells, tissues, parenchymatous cells are cut by the cambium by the cambium in between two secondary tissues of xylem and phloem, and this is the same condition outside the ring. Another ring of parenchymatous cells are cut here, and some layers of these newly cut parenchymatous cells also contain a starch grain which is cut outside. The parenchymatous layers of cells that are cut outside may contain a starch grain. So, this is the condition, and Afterward, this next to this ring, when the secondary growth is completed by this ring of cambium, a second ring is formed, and it also cuts secondary tissues, and that is going on so on and so on. So only difference between the two headings that I have firstly I have told you that in the successive ring of cambium it is formed in the stellar region, but here it is formed extrastellar region, but the rings are cut one by one. So this is the extrastellar secondary growth, and here by the cutting of the new cells there is pressure generated to accommodate these cells, and hence inside the cortical region a periderm is formed later on that contains secondary cortex, bark, and the core cambium. But later on, in this case, in the case of Amaranthus, the periderm is distorted. Periderm is formed, but later on distorted. So this is all about the extrastellar cambium, the secondary growth, the extrastellar secondary growth which occurs in the Amaranthaceae family. That is the typical example is Amaranthus and Acaranthus also, and successive ring of cambium in which there are the members of family Nyctagenaceae, that is Boerhaavia and Mirabilis and Bougainvillea also. So this is quite similar in two headings. In the successive ring of cambium, as I have taught you about the Boerhaavia stem, that is similar with the Bougainvillea with somewhat difference, and here is Acaranthus is somewhat different from this, but these difference are very less. So we have completed all about the anomalous secondary growth of the heading which are non-adaptive. Now when we come in the next class, we will start the anomalous secondary growth in root. In the stem we have completed the anomalous secondary growth, but in the next class when we shall meet, we will see anomalous here malus secondary growth in root. That is the typical example is Daucus carota, that is the member of Umbelliferae family, that is commonly known as gajar. So we will see that is the modified root, conical type of modified root. So in the next class we will see anomalous secondary growth in root. The example is Daucus carota, and next to it in the other class we will see the anomalous secondary growth in a monocot stem, and then to the monocot stem that is found, I have told you in the previous classes, that is found in where Dracaena annecca. So example is Dracaena. So afterward we shall read the anomalous secondary growth in dicot, in monocot root, monocot stem, that is the Dracaena. Thank you for the thank you.